Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
Something I want to bring to, the sort of collective attention with what's going on in the world right now. We live in very tumultuous times, and it's probably fair to say that a lot of people have lived through equally tumultuous times. A natural response to this, however, is to harden your heart. Socially, it is very sort of popular to act in a way that is prefers this sort of survivorship bias where you endure outrageous amounts of suffering. Culturally, you'll see it in a lot of different sort of national cultures. You'll see it in a lot of different subcultures where people take pride in the amount of suffering that they are able to withstand and endure. And we've talked about the value and the role of suffering as a concept as a catalyst for development. But when you are enduring suffering and not learning from it, right, that isn't the badge of honor that we like to think about. You really want your suffering to sort of count for something, make it something you can progress from. But the natural tendency in the face of a lot of this is to harden your heart, to make your heart like a stone, to remove the emotional sort of sensitivity in your life. And this is a kind of a huge mistake. When we harden our hearts like this, we close up, and future emotional reactions become harder and harder and more difficult to surface. So much so that we will end up suppressing our emotions in a big way, such that you really can't relate to people anymore. You see this a lot in the kind of traditional male culture where your worth as, in traditional sort of masculine parlance is you just tough it out. You man up, as it were. And what happens in those environments is guys lose their ability to be in touch with their own humanity. That emotional content, that the ability to be present in both an intellectual way, but also in an emotional way and a physical way, is really vital to the experience of being human. And it prevents us from othering, as a verb, everyone else in the world. That when we harden our hearts and we harden the way we approach people interactions, we get away with treating other folks like objects. They represent things now. They're no longer people. They are a color. They are a religion. They are the defining thing that you don't like. And this all comes, again, from this hardening of your heart as a function. So an important note here is that the entire function of the emotional center, the heart, is to hurt. It does not ever not hurt when it's doing its job. When things are amazing for us, you have this heart, my heart is going to burst. It feels so amazing. When things are horrible for us, you feel like your heart is going to break. Your heart's job is to feel these things, whatever they might be, and to have a powerful reaction to them. And the moment you shut that off in response to adversity is the moment you essentially stop being present and experiencing the full sort of depth of the moment. This has long-term consequences as well, because the repressed emotion does turn into a kind of an internal sort of toxin to the way you think and behave. Again, that othering takes place and it starts to erode your sense of self in a meaningful way. You start to objectify the parts of you don't like. And then, later on, your sort of logical functions stop making any sense. And you end up committing horrible acts of violence or what have you. You want to avoid all of that for sure. And it starts by embracing the fact that your heart is designed for this kind of aching pain that it expresses in the good times and bad times. And that avoiding that it would be the equivalent of avoiding breathing. You just can't. Breathing is a function of the organism as much as anything else. So soften your heart. Find ways to soften your heart if it's already hardened, so that you can be present in the moment and grow to be your best self.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.